one photo, Nathan.
Oh, so you're going to continue with your challenge? So when I assessed that if he got the conclusion from me, he would simply move forward with his challenge. No, we've already absolutely and unequivocally ascertained that this dick, this person being berated by a flat earther, does not understand the argument. But he still desperately wants to berate us. Why? Because he has absolutely no respect for us. That's why I'm, according to him, being a dick to him. Yeah, because I'm going to enforce the respect we deserve. You are wrong. That's been proven. You don't deserve to move forward in the argument. We do deserve an acknowledgement that you have challenged something you don't even understand. We're never going to get it. So I'm going to highlight this for the audience because the position is absurd, unjustified and unreasonable, that you still think you've got the high ground.
Just to see if you even understand it philosophically. Like, how many black swans do you need to prove that not all of them are white?
One.
Do you even understand that? One.
So can you not see a parallel with your whole just one picture? Back on this, right? Hold on a second. Good.
Same thing
good
with
white.
science.
Hold on. Good white light. Go ahead, my friend.
Okay, thank you. Well, I was going to ask, is looking at a photo of the black swan, is that doing science?
No.
But you're making assertions that the Earth is flat by looking at a photo.
No, that's not the assertion being made.
Okay, so all you're doing is destroying the globe, so to speak, or what you guys do, right?
That's correct.
That's all it's
Destroying
doing?
the globe with logical consistency. That's right. Not science.
With your own math on top of that.
But it's one picture amongst many pictures that aren't. Okay, my point is, if you take one photo of 100 photos, you have one black swan, right? That's why you call it the black swan. But what are you trying to prove with one photo when all the other 99 photos show something different, and even those?
Okay.
So, I mean, look, I'm going to make my point right here. Can't we deduce that optics photos are unreliable and should not be taken as any scientific proof or any proof whatsoever? I'm on my side, but
which position are you defending?
I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical on both sides, but because I can't prove it either way.
Yeah, you can. That's perfect. That's the response I was looking for. What's the conclusion of the black swan? Can you just recite the conclusion for me?
Like I said, how can you make a conclusion if you don't have repeatable, demonstratable evidence? Just have one photo.
You can say I don't know if you don't know. Don't sidetrack. Just what's the conclusion to the black swan? Not, well, it's not this. Just tell me what it is first. Then tell me what it isn't if you disagree. What is the conclusion?
Well, you tell me, because I'm going to tell you the same thing. You can't make any deductions from it.
Yeah, you can. But you just don't know what's been deduced from it, clearly.
Oh, but I do. And I'm telling you that that deduction is unreliable. And
no, don't tell us what's unreliable. Tell us what the conclusion was. What was the logical deduction made from the black swan argument? It seems like you don't know because you're not telling us it.
I do. You see the horizon further than it should be.
That's not the conclusion. That's incorrect. Do you want to try again?
You tell me the conclusion.
Well, why are you challenging this? You don't know the conclusion yet. You've got the gall to challenge us on it. You don't even understand the argument. You don't know the conclusion. But yet you're going to tell me how logical consistency doesn't... Don't interrupt.
I
don't interrupt. don't interrupt me. You don't know the conclusion, therefore you do not understand the argument. But you're going to tell me how this logical consistency doesn't prove something? Hardly on the fence. You don't even understand the argument. Otherwise, you'd give me the conclusion correctly. Not the horizon's too far. That is incorrect.
Okay, well, enlighten all of us.
You're the one challenging it. That I don't enlighten you? I've been enlightening people. Shut up. I've enlightened people for the last 12 straight months. How dare you? Go and watch one of the videos. You expect me... Shut up. You expect me to give you a personal education in this? You're challenging it. What a nerve. So, first, have some dignity and humility and say, okay, yeah, I don't understand the argument, even though I've come here to challenge it. First, have some humility and accept that you haven't got a clue.
I said, enlighten.
No, don't ask for me to enlighten you. First, accept that you have challenged something you don't understand. Clearly.
Well, I told you my point of view.
I don't give a... You dumb idiot. I don't want to know about your point of view. You don't understand this argument. How many times? Either you have some bloody humility and say, yeah, I didn't get it, but I came here to challenge it. Not, no, enlighten me. Don't make your demands. I have enlightened plenty on this argument. Plenty of people do understand the argument because I have enlightened them. Now, you are not enlightened. You are ignorant, yet you are here with your ignorance challenging us on it. And when it's demonstrated that you are ignorant of this argument, you interrupt and demand that I educate you. No. First, you will concede that you are interrupting first and foremost because you're getting told off. That's not enough for you, so you've got to interrupt me telling you off. No, you're being told off by a flat earther for your ignorance of an argument you have attempted to challenge based on its lack of logical consistency. That was your position. I listened to you. Now, moving forward, before I educate your dumbass, you're going to say, yeah, I'm sorry I challenged this. I didn't really understand it. That's what's going to happen. We are demanding respect from you from here on in. If we don't get it, you will be berated. Yeah? Chastised, spoken down to, treated like dirt, not educated at your request and demand. So first some humility and respect for us, then I'll educate you. Respect first. Apologise for your dumb ignorance and total lack of humility.
Who the f*** do you think you are?
I'm the guy who knows how the argument works, you dumb shit. I'm the guy who understands this stuff. That's who I am. Somebody more intelligent than you. Somebody who understands the argument. Somebody who spent 12 months educating other people in this argument to the point where they could recite it. Something you cannot do. Now you're getting told off by a flat earther for your ignorance. That's who I am. A flat earther who knows more than you do. And you're going to damn well respect me. If you don't, you're going to get told off. That is the position from here on forward. You morons who believe the globe is real are going to respect us. Because it's not. And we're going to then tell you how it isn't. Not because you've demanded I educate you. Because I will educate you at my leisure. Which I've done for 12 months. That's who I am. Somebody educating you. On my terms, not yours. Have some respect.
Come on, Nathan. One quote.
Have some respect and acknowledge that you don't understand this argument. You've challenged something you do not understand. You have come here with ignorance to challenge something you don't understand. Acknowledge that and then we'll move on.
You think you can treat...
Don't tell me what I'm going to be doing. You are not in charge here. I am. I am telling you, demanding the respect I deserve before I educate your dumbass on an argument you're here to challenge but do not understand. That will be acknowledged.
How was I being disrespectful to you?
Because you've come here to challenge something you don't understand, and upon that being pointed out, you demanded that I educate you. No, very disrespectful. First, you'll apologise for your outrage in coming here and demanding, A, that I educate you, and B, that you think it doesn't have logical consistency when you don't understand the argument. Something I've now pointed out and you've not acknowledged. What you have done is say, well, enlighten me then. No, you're the one challenging this.
I never said you're hard. I never...
You are hard. I've said it to you. Now listen to me, ignorant dick. You are going to acknowledge that you came here to challenge something you don't understand. Now, when you display that humility, which will be the respect that I'm demanding, we'll move on. Not before.
No, I came here with...
No. Yes. You will do exactly as I demand, or the conversation will not progress. That is how this will happen. You will show some humility and acknowledge that you challenged something you didn't understand. Then I will educate you.
Ethan, you're overreacting.
I have been in this arena for 5 years, and we get absolutely zero respect. Quite the contrary. Not even respect, which would be zero. The mean level that everybody should have as a standard. We get ridiculed. We get far from even the zero mean that everybody should expect. We get ridiculed. Now, we get ridiculed by people like you, who come here with their ignorance of an argument and tell us that it doesn't have logical consistency when they don't even understand it. Now, upon that being pointed out, you don't offer respect, you don't offer humility, you demand that I educate you and enlighten you. Yeah, I'll be the one doing the enlightening because I'm the flat earther who knows what's what. You will be the one offering some humility, or you won't get me playing ball with you. That's how this works. I'm in charge and demanding the respect we deserve before we educate your dumbass.
I didn't do anything wrong, so I'm not apologizing to you.
Yes, you did.
But I'll sit here quietly and let you do your and that's it.
Admit your error
that.
so we can move on.
Well, I'll try a different tact. I'll ask you a question. Why did you feel that you could come here to challenge the Black Swan if you don't understand it?
I do understand it. You're taking
No, you
one
don't. See, this is where you are absolutely deserving of the beration that you've received from me. That's why I'm berating you. If you understand it, give me the conclusion correctly. It's not that the horizon's too far.
There's many things, Nathan.
Oh, wow, that sounds seriously vague, many things.
Telling me to.
No, the Black Swan's got a very specific conclusion.
Like I said.
You don't know. You've just got no respect for us, so you don't think we're deserving of you saying, I don't know. You are under the misapprehension that you can demand that we accept you do know. And when we ask you to justify your incorrect belief that you know the answer to this Black Swan claim you think doesn't have logical consistency, you go, many things. So, will we get the acceptance that you don't understand this argument that you're here to challenge or not?
Hurry up. I'm waiting.
Hurry up. So you still think you're in a position to give me demands? Yeah, again, disrespectful. Now, I know it's hard for you Globers to extend even an ounce of respect in our direction because you don't have any for us. Yeah, that's fine by me because it means I get to sit here on my little pedestal and demand it and berate you idiots. Yeah, that's what I get to do as a result. I'll demand it of you. Plead to educate again. Go on, beg me to educate your dumbass in some vague way that doesn't acknowledge your stupidity. Go on, beg me again. Beg the one who knows this argument that you're here to challenge to educate your dumbass on it. Beg me.
My gosh.
Yeah, plead to God, because that's this situation from here on forward for any moron that thinks the Earth's a sphere. You're going to get flat earthers humiliating you for your stupidity and your lack of humility and your ignorance of the argument that you're here to attack. Half the time, you fundies who think you're on a sphere don't even know your own arguments, let alone ours.
Facts.
This is what it's going to be going forward. Flat earthers humiliating globe-believing idiots because they don't understand their own nonsense that they're here to punt, let alone understand an argument that's been put forward by us. How would I ever dream that someone who claims to be on the fence would actually understand an argument that is clearly here to attack, even though it doesn't understand it? Why would I ever expect that that would result in some humility and somebody going, oh, yeah, actually, I shouldn't really be challenging something for its lack of logic when I don't even know the conclusion?
Well, you haven't even told us what.
Oh, what? I haven't given you the conclusion for you to take apart after I educate you on it? No, that's not respectful either. You're waiting for me to put the argument forward in conclusion so you can challenge it. Yeah. So I have to educate you in the argument you don't understand so you can then go forward challenging it again, as you were here to do in the first place, but haven't taken the steps to acknowledge your ignorance of this subject. You don't know what you're challenging, but you want me to summarise it so you can attack it again. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Why are you being difficult on purpose?
Oh, is it me being difficult? I thought you were here to challenge a Black Swan for its lack of logical consistency, but I'm being awkward, am I?
It is.
Is that me being awkward when you come here to challenge something you don't understand? That's me being awkward. Really, I should just understand and accept that you're a moron who doesn't understand the argument and move on, right? No, I'm going to humiliate you. I'm going to say, my name is Nathan Oakley, and I humiliate globe idiots who don't understand the arguments they come here to attack. That's what I'm going to do. Don't have to like it.
Okay, you made it perfectly clear what you think about good white. Now, can you move on?
Will he ever
he's
acknowledge
not
that he challenged something he didn't understand? Because he still claims to understand it.
He did by asking you.
Oh, really? That's acknowledging that he didn't understand it because it seemed like he was leading in to attack my summary of the conclusion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if he actually acknowledged that he didn't understand it, moving forward, we could point out that he's already had the humility to acknowledge that, rather than carrying on with the attack that will come if I summarise it, without him showing some respect and humility for his ignorance of this subject, based on his lack of conclusion being delivered upon request. So no, butt out, mate. I'm just going to insist that he has the humility that's required in these circumstances. When you're wrong, don't understand an argument and attempt to challenge it. The person that does understand it will humiliate you if you don't offer an ounce of humility.
That's
My
not true.
stance is
Good white.
you're taking
Do you-
one photo and you're trying
Well,
to make
first of all,
An
you're
argument
not showing humility, number
from it.
one. Number two, you think you're holding us to a scientific standard when no one said that this was science. Like, just say sorry, bro.
Doesn't have to
No, but
apologise.
he's being a dick to me, and
I
I was
don't
never
want to be a dick to you.
him at all.
Don't want to be. You're just getting my blood pressure racing every time you insist that I offer you the conclusion you haven't, without acknowledgement that you've challenged something you don't understand. That's never going to move forward from this position, mate. You can go on about me being a dick to you, but anybody watching understands implicitly, if they've followed along, why I'm being a dick to you. It's because
No, they don't.
Because you're interrupting me when I try and summarise for the fifth time, that coming in and challenging an argument that you don't understand for its lack of logical consistency, and then failing to acknowledge that, and demanding that you get educated in the conclusion, only to interrupt it continually, and then move on with your challenge after it's been educated that you don't understand this. No, and that's not going to happen, ever.
Lad, you came in and challenged something that you don't even know the logical conclusion of. And you did this on a public forum. And when you're asked to just show some humility and accept that you were wrong, and just show that amount of respect and humility and accept you were wrong, your pride is getting in the way because you won't admit that you were wrong. That's what's going on here. If you just admit you were wrong,
Look.
things can move on.
Wrong about what?
Your challenge!
Because-
You challenge something you don't understand. How can you possibly challenge that?
One photo, Nathan.
Oh, so you're going to continue with your challenge? So when I assessed that if he got the conclusion from me, he would simply move forward with his challenge. No, we've already absolutely and unequivocally ascertained that this dick, this moron, this person being berated by a flat earther does not understand the argument. But he still desperately wants to berate us. Why? Because he has absolutely no respect for us. That's why I'm, according to him, being a dick to him. Yeah, because I'm going to enforce the respect we deserve. You are wrong. That's been proven. You don't deserve to move forward in the argument. We do deserve an acknowledgement that you have challenged something you don't even understand. We're never going to get it. So I'm going to highlight this for the audience because the position is absurd, unjustified and unreasonable, that you still think you've got the high ground.
There's no moral high ground here.
No, the debating high ground, you stupid idiot. We were in a debate. We haven't even got to the conclusion of the Black Swan because the opponent won't acknowledge where he's wrong, even though he's come here to challenge something he doesn't even understand the conclusion of. Can't repeat the conclusion, but still wants to move on. It's a debating challenge. You just haven't concluded with a point because you haven't got one. You don't understand the argument. That's about the 10th time.
No, I think the whole audience heard me and exactly know my point.
Oh, really? When asked what the Black Swan conclusion is, you said, there are many things. That's an exact quote. You haven't got the vaguest clue, and as correctly identified by Brian, your pride's getting in the way and making you look stupid. Pride
By you
stings, right?
continuing to say it's just one photo, like that just further shows how much you do not understand what the hell the black swan is.
Yeah, let's deal with
it's
that.
just one black
It's never
swan.
going to work. He's never going to
I do
offer us
understand.
humility.
I told you, you guys are seeing a different horizon, but what my
Oh
point
my
is,
God.
how if it's not repeatable and you can't demonstrate it with reliability, how can you take it as any sort of proof or evidence or make any deductions?
Okay, no
not-
worries.
If you would understand the black swan argument, you would know why.
Yes, that's correct, Darwin. That's the whole point. If you actually understood this logical consistency, then you'd understand the answer to that question. Now, we can't move past that because you can't acknowledge you don't understand it. And Dunning-Kruger, you don't know what you don't know, so you're going to still argue it.
Just to see if you even understand it philosophically. Like, how many black swans do you need to prove that not all of them are white?
One.
Do you even understand that? One.
So
Thank you.
So can you not see a parallel with your whole just one picture? Maybe if you understood the logical consistency of this argument, you would appreciate that one picture's all we need. But no, you're going to keep barking on about that, even though
That
that's
is
the very...
not-
And maybe interrupt me when I point out that that's the whole point of the Karl Popper analogy, which you don't understand. What's the conclusion? Our black swan argument. What's the conclusion to that? Tell me many things again.
Why do your minions stay quiet? Let's go, Arwin. Chocolate, let's go. What's the conclusion?
Sorry, are you clutching for straws as you drown? We've spent 25 minutes trying to get an acknowledgement that you don't understand this argument. And when I push you to explain it, given that you still are under the misapprehension that you think you can overcome this argument you don't understand, you're going to appeal to my panel to save you. Really? How unbelievably pathetic.